From our studio in Georgetown, this is the TV Delmarva Channel 14 News at 4.
Good day, Delmarva. Reporter Rob Petrie here for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Straight ahead, Delaware Democrats have vowed to pass an assault weapons ban before the end of session, while gun lobbyists are firing back, vowing to fight the legislation. 2 men were arrested on drug and weapons charges following a traffic stop in Dover, and we hear from a local man who survived a rare form of cancer and actually wrote a book to inspire others and raise awareness. These stories and more coming up, but weather first with Hunter Alton.
Hello and good Friday, Delmarva. Well, we have made it towards the end of the week, and we had a busy night here on Delmarva last night. We had multiple rounds of severe thunderstorms, a lot of damaging wind reports, as much as 155 across areas of the mid-Atlantic states. We've had multiple gust fronts, damaging winds, and as well as the tremendous amounts of lightning that we've seen across the area last night. Now at my house, I have a lightning detector, and I've picked up over 6,000 lightning strikes in a 3-hour period, some of the highest I've picked up so far since owning it over the last couple of years. So last night was quite something else though, but completely different conditions as we head into the afternoon today. Taking a live look outside of TV Delmarva Studios here in Georgetown, we have a mixture of some clouds and some puffy cumulus clouds out there, but the big difference is with the drop in humidity and as well as a drop in those temperatures too. Currently only 78 degrees here in Georgetown. Take a look at satellite and radar. We're still having a cold front beginning to move through the areas today. We're not expecting any more precipitation throughout the entire weekend, and a beautiful weekend is in store with cooler temperatures, lower humidity, and just overall wonderful crystal blue skies for the most part. We do have some cloud cover continuing to move across areas for the rest of this afternoon. We still will be having the clouds tonight, but going into Saturday and Sunday though, it's going to be one heck of a weekend, and if you happen to work, it's a good idea to play hooky because you won't get these kind of conditions for much longer as we're getting ready to head into the very, very hot aspects of the summer-like weather here on Delmarva. Let's have a look at those conditions elsewhere on Delmarva this afternoon. Now, around this time yesterday, we had widespread areas of upper 80s to lower 90s, but this afternoon, there's only one place that's even 80 degrees right now, and that is in Pocomoke City. 78 for Salisbury, 74 for Ocean City, 75 for Easton. A little bit warmer Centerville at 77 degrees, 78 for Dover, 79 in Wilmington, and currently 76 degrees in Newark. Now, we have seen a drop in humidity, except for the areas right along the ocean front there, where they've seen the most rainfall yesterday. So a lot of it is just some surface moisture left over from the thunderstorms last night, but dew points have been on average into the lower 60s and even getting into the 50s for areas of northwestern Maryland. Take a look at current sustained winds at this time. They have picked up just a little bit, sustained on average between about 10 to 15 miles per hour from the northwest, but we have been seeing some wind gusts getting to near 20 miles per hour, currently gusting to 20 in Centerville, 18 for Dover, 15 here in Georgetown. Only about 9 in Ocean City, 14 for Salisbury, 18 miles per hour in Easton. Now, like I mentioned, we do have a nice, fantastic weekend ahead, and as well as we will be warming up things just a little bit for the mid portions of next week, and we're going to be introducing some afternoon pop-up thunderstorms here and there. I'll have all the details regarding your weekend forecast here in just a little while.
Delaware Democrats have vowed to pass an assault weapons ban before the end of session, while gun lobbyists are firing back, vowing to fight the legislation. Following the horrific mass shooting that claimed the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, Democratic lawmakers here in Delaware have introduced a number of gun control bills, including legislation to ban assault weapons. House Bill 450, the Delaware Lethal Firearms Safety Act, would prohibit the manufacture, sale, purchase, receipt, possession, or transport of assault weapons in Delaware. Democrats have vowed to have the bill passed before the end of session. In prior years, similar legislation has failed, largely due to the efforts of Delaware gun rights lobbyists. Now, we got the chance to sit down with Mitch Denham, president of Delaware Gun Rights, who slammed the bill as reactionary and unconstitutional.
I find what they're doing to be highly unconstitutional based on the Delaware State Constitution, Article 1, Section 20. A lot of these weapons that are listed on here are used in defense of your home, for sporting purposes, for recreational purposes, for hunting, and quite frankly, in the event of need for defense of the state. The idea that they can just arbitrarily take a list from Maryland and apply it to Delaware, knowing that the Delaware Constitution has those provisions in it, it just shows their lack of concern for the Delaware citizen and their true agenda, which has nothing to do with the safety of students. If they were concerned about the safety of students, they would have told every Capitol Police officer that guards the building that they're in that they don't need to be guarded, that the kids do. That's the truth. So they haven't done a single iota of knee-jerk reaction towards safety, just towards taking law-abiding citizens' constitutional rights away from them, which proves that they don't really seek to do any good. All they do seek to do is disarm. Yeah. So that's exactly where they're at. I don't believe for one second this is a genuine concern. Otherwise, you wouldn't just dust it off the old bill from 4 years ago and replaced Newtown, Connecticut with Uvalde, Texas.
Now, the assault weapons ban bill is just one piece in a series of gun control legislation, including limiting high-capacity magazines and raising the age from 18 to 21 to purchase most firearms. Well, 2 men were arrested on drug and weapons charges in Dover. Delaware State Police arresting 19-year-old Terrence Mears of Cincinnati, Ohio, and 19-year-old Jermaine Walker of Felton on drug and weapons charges following a traffic stop that turned up drug and weapons in Dover. According to Delaware State Police, around 9 p.m. Tuesday, troopers on patrol observed a Dodge Grand Caravan traveling northbound on Main Street in the area of Port Mahon Road. One of the vehicle's headlights was not working and a traffic stop was initiated. Troopers made contact with Mears and Walker along with a juvenile female passenger and an infant. Troopers detected an odor of marijuana coming from the minivan. That's when a computer check revealed that Walker had an active capias for his arrest. Both Walker and Mears were taken into custody at the scene without incident. A search of that vehicle led to the discovery of approximately 87 grams of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, and a high-standard revolver with an obliterated serial number. Police say Walker is a convicted felon prohibited from possessing firearms. Both him and Mears were arrested on a slew of charges. And speaking of Dover, a Dover man was arrested on his 4th DUI charge. Dover police arresting 40-year-old Kevin Purcell for a 4th DUI offense on Wednesday night following a traffic stop. Around 11:53 p.m., officers stopped Purcell in the area of White Oak Road and Edge Hill Avenue. Now, prior to the traffic stop, police say they saw Purcell fail to stay within his lane to travel multiple times, nearly striking a curb. When officers tried to stop Purcell, he continued to travel through the intersection of Kings Highway and North DuPont Highway, failing to stop until reaching White Oak Road and Edge Hill Avenue. When officers finally made contact with Purcell, police say they detected signs of intoxication. He refused to perform any field sobriety test, according to police, so a blood search warrant was obtained. He was later committed to the DOC on $4,500 secured bond. Coming up, we sit down with a local man who had a rare form of cancer. We'll hear his story and how he wrote a book to raise awareness and inspire others. More details on the way. Don't go away. We got the chance to sit down with David Nasir of Milford, Delaware, who just a few years ago was diagnosed with a rare form of penile cancer. We'll hear his story and how he was able to turn everything around, write a book to raise awareness and inspire others.
I was diagnosed with penile cancer, which is an extremely rare cancer. I was referred to Dr. Michael Mitro in Pennsylvania at Temple Urology. I went and saw him, and he told me I had 3 tumors on my penis, and basically I had to have a partial phenectomy done or load a catheter in until the cancer took over and killed me. So in the meantime, after going through some depression, some why me, some crying, my wife's cousin is actually an author. He wrote 15 books, and he approached me and said, "Hey, look, man, this is really rare. Why don't we write a book to bring awareness about it?" So as we're going through all my treatments and my surgeries, we started writing a book, and about a year later, the book was released.
Now, we'll have more of David's interview tomorrow on the Reporters Weekly. Well, it's looking like we're in store for partly cloudy skies and cooler conditions tonight as we get a preview of your pinpoint weather forecast with Hunter Alton.
After a very busy afternoon and evening of severe weather yesterday across areas of Delmarva, we are looking at a wonderful weekend ahead. Plenty of sunshine and lower humidity is here, and it will be sticking around throughout the entire weekend. But we will warm up slightly for the mid portions of next week as we introduce typical summertime pop-up thunderstorms. Now don't go anywhere, because when we come back, I'll have a look at your weekend forecast here on TV Delmarva, Channel 14 News. Alrighty, Delmarva, let's get right into the pinpoint forecast for this weekend. But first, we do have some tropical weather we need to talk about. Now, keep in mind, hurricane season just started a couple days ago, and we're already tracking our first potential named storm. Now, from the National Hurricane Center, as of 2 o'clock this afternoon, we still are tracking potential tropical cyclone number 1. It doesn't have an official name as of yet. Right now, it is sitting just off of the northeast coast of the Yucatan Peninsula and just west of Cuba as it continues to move over towards the north and east. Now, in the next 24-48 hours, it is expected to become fully tropical in nature, and it will become Tropical Storm Alex. Now, right now, it is moving off towards the northeast at 5 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds right at tropical storm strength of 40 miles per hour, but it doesn't have the full tropical characteristics just yet, with minimal central pressure of about 1,003 millibars. Now, all these areas that you see in this bluish color here, those are tropical storm warnings pretty much for the entire southern peninsula of Florida, and including the Bahamas as well. Now, the good news is this is going to be a relatively weak system moving through, but it's going to dump a lot of rainfall for areas of Florida as it continues to move off towards the north and east with the cone of silence, bringing it all the way out into the middle Atlantic. So the only thing that we may have to watch out for is a little bit of some swell that will move in sometime next week, maybe bring in some ground swells, so some nice surfing weather for all of those surfers out there. So that's a really only concern that we're going to see here on Delmarva, but areas of southern Florida are going to be seeing several inches of rain, and we're already expecting a very, very busy season, and we're already 3 days in tracking our potential first tropical storm of the year. Now, we're going to switch gears and get right back into that pinpoint forecast, beginning with the overnight hours tonight. We got partly cloudy skies and a cooler night ahead as well. Overnight lows of 60 to 65 degrees with some light winds from the northwest at about 5 miles per hour. Take a look at Futurecast. Rest of the overnight hours into the day on Saturday. This is 8 o'clock this evening. We're still going to be dealing with areas of partly cloudy skies as temperatures are falling down into the low and mid 70s right around sunset. Once we get into the heart of the overnight hours, some of the northern areas could be breaking the clouds up just a little bit, but areas in central and southern Delmarva are still going to be looking at partly cloudy skies for the most part as temperatures are falling into the lower 60s. Waking up tomorrow morning, though, we're going to start to see the cloud cover break up even more with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Temperature is already warming up into the upper 60s to about 70 degrees at 8 o'clock. But by the time we get into the early afternoon hours, we got plenty of sunshine here on Delmarva. We do have much lower humidity as well, with our highs getting into the low and mid 80s. Once we get into the evening hours, though, we're still going to be looking at plenty of mostly sunny skies. Temperature still fairly comfortable into the low and mid 70s, but we're starting to see a little bit of cloud cover beginning to move in once again during the overnight hours tomorrow night, as our temperatures are holding steady into the lower 60s. Saturday forecast overall, we got Mostly sunny skies, nice comfortable temperatures, and that much needed lower humidity because we've been seeing some very humid conditions over the last couple of days. That's why we had the storms last night. Temperatures 80 to 85 degrees with light winds from the northwest at about 5 miles per hour. Take a look at the beach forecast going into your Saturday, beginning with the Atlantic. Mostly sunny skies, 76 degrees, winds from the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour with seas of 1 to 2 feet. Now keep in mind, we've got plenty of sunshine out there and that UV index is fairly high at 9, so make sure you have that sunblock handy. Take a look at the Delaware Bay. Mostly sunny skies, 77 degrees, winds variable at about 5 miles per hour with seas of less than 1 foot expected. And then the Chesapeake Bay, mostly sunny skies, 80 degrees, winds from the northwest at about 5 miles per hour, and you can expect seas of around 1 foot on the Chesapeake. Now, as we get into the overnight hours tomorrow night, we're going to be looking at mostly clear skies for the most part, but definitely a cooler night in store too. It's been a while since we've seen some 50s during the overnight lows, 57 to 62 degrees. We're still going to be keeping those lower humidity values, and the winds are going to completely die off for the most part with some light and variable conditions. Taking a sneak peek into Sunday, though, we're actually going to be even cooler than we're expecting for Saturday. Still got plenty of sunshine, mostly sunny skies. Afternoon temperatures of 76 to 80 degrees, once again with lower humidity, with the wind switching now from onshore from the east between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Now, as we take a look at this extended outlook, this weekend is looking fantastic. Plenty of sunshine, nice comfortable temperatures, upper 70s to low 80s with lower humidity. Couldn't ask for a better weekend in store. Going into Monday, we increase the clouds a little bit more. Still fairly cool for the most part, upper 70s to about 80 with partly sunny skies. And then we're going to be introducing some isolated storm chances for Tuesday, Wednesday, and potentially into Thursday as well, with our temperatures getting back into the lower 80s, which is very typical for the summer months here on Delmarva for a random pop-up thunderstorm in the afternoon hours. And then we're back to partly sunny skies by the end of the week with temperatures still holding steady into the lower 80s.
President Biden weighs in on the baby formula shortage. More details straight ahead. Keep it here. As parents continue to find it difficult to find baby formula in our area and across the country for that matter, President Joe Biden met with CEOs of those companies to address the issues that led to the nationwide shortage. Our Jonathan Mistrat has the details.
President Biden admits that he did not realize the impact of shutting down an Abbott's plant would cause a baby formula shortage in the area and the United States, which accounted for about 40% of the supply. The comments were made during a virtual press conference yesterday with CEOs from several baby formula companies, minus a representative from Abbott's, which is at the center of the issue. President Biden says steps made to import formula through the Defense Production Act is getting formula to the hands of parents who need it for their children.
The last thing we should ever do is allow unsafe formula to be sold to parents. Instead, we should increase the production of safe formula to make every American family so they can get what they need from their child. That's the approach we've taken. The Food and Drug Administration acted quickly to bring Abbott back into compliance with safety standards, but it takes time.
Mr. Biden announced yesterday that an agreement was made with Bubs Australia to bring in 4.6 million bottles of infant formulas, and the Food and Drug Administration is reviewing imports of additional formula, along with United Airlines offering to cargo these formulas in. Target is also partnering with the government to distribute formula to families in stores and online. Jonathan Mistrat for TV Delmarva News.
Weather Classroom is sponsored by No Nonsense Office Machines, committed to providing quality products and services with over 15 years of experience here in Sussex County. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's weather lesson we will be discussing lightning safety. Lightning is a leading cause of injury and death from weather-related hazards. Although most lightning victims survive, people struck by lightning often report a variety of long-term debilitating symptoms. I myself, as a lightning strike victim back in 2014 with some lifelong medical issues caused from a lightning strike. Taking precautions from lightning during a thunderstorm can and will save your life. Know your area's risk for thunderstorms. In most places, they can occur year-round and at any hour. Keeping up to date with your local forecasts on a day-to-day basis is a great start. When thunder roars, go indoors. Find a safe enclosed shelter. Safe shelters include homes, offices, shopping centers, and hardtop vehicles with the windows rolled up. Don't forget the 30-30 rule. After you see lightning, start counting to 30, and if you hear thunder before you reach 30, go indoors. Suspend activities for at least 30 minutes after the last clap of thunder. Never shelter underneath an isolated tree. That's because trees are a very common grounding feature for lightning to strike. And immediately get out of the way from ponds, lakes, and other bodies of water, since water is a very high conductor for electricity. Stay away from objects that conduct electricity, such as barbed wire fences, power lines, and/or windmills. These simple measures will dramatically reduce your risk of being struck by lightning with the upcoming storm season ahead.
Well, that about does it for us today, Delmarva. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at TV Delmarva and on our website, tvdelmarva.com, for real-time news and weather updates. Until next time, I'm Rob Petrie reporting for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News.